Hi everyone, this is Jillian from One Love Yoga with a gentle yoga practice and a guided meditation at the end of this practice. Start by sitting comfortably, crossing the ankles and resting your hands on your knees. Softly close the eyes and just begin to tune in to your breath. Allowing your breath to become slow and steady, and your mind to relax. Lengthening your inhales, lengthening your exhales, and then start to take a few big shoulder rolls backwards. Take your right arm out to the side, blink your eyes open, and stretch your left arm alongside your ear, feeling a stretch in your left side body. Breathe deeply and lift your chin so you're looking underneath your left armpit. Lower your left hand down to the mat and fold over your right side, feeling a little bit of a deeper stretch on the left side. Slowly come up and take your left hand to the outside of your right knee and bring your right fingertips behind you. Sit up nice and tall and then take a twist looking over your right shoulder, making sure that you're twisting from the low, middle, and then the upper back. Don't just throw your head to one side. Unwind back to center. Inhale, lift the arms up and overhead. Exhale, lower your left hand down and stretch your right arm over to the left side of the room, this side. And maybe just begin to observe which side of your body feels a little tighter today or where you're holding tension. Lower your right hand down and then fold over your left leg. Allow your head and your neck to relax. This practice isn't about forcing, but just allowing your body to ease into those tight spaces and find a little bit of relaxation. Bring your left hand behind your back, take your right hand to your left knee, and twist and look over your shoulder, feeling that twist through the entire length of your spine. Come all the way back to center and take your feet out into a wide V. Reach your arms out in front of you, interlace your fingers, and just begin to take a big stirring motion, about 3 to 4 circles in one direction, and then 3 to 4 in the other, feeling the stretch in the low back and the hamstrings, but making sure you can still keep your breath steady and relaxed. Come back to center. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, we're walking the hands straight out in front, coming into a deeper forward fold, but again, find your edge, so that place where you're feeling a stretch, but it feels good. It doesn't feel like you're in a space that you can't sustain or you can't hold. Walk your hands over to your right leg, one hand on either side of the leg, and now you're just folding over that right side. You'll notice a little bit more of a stretch on your left side waist here. Walk your hands over to the left side this time and fold over your left leg. Inhaling breath, lift your arms up and overhead. Now exhale, side bend over to the right side. Bring your right hand or forearm to the inside of your leg and stretch your left arm alongside your ear. Keep your left sitting bone grounded as you stretch. Inhale, come back up to center and change sides. Lower your left hand or forearm down. Reach your right arm up and over alongside your ear and feel the stretch on the right side as you keep your right sitting bone anchored down to the mat. Slowly come back to center. Draw the legs together and make your way into a tabletop position. Hands underneath the shoulders and knees underneath the hips. Inhale, arch your back, lift your gaze for cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, look to your belly for cat. We'll take 4 cycles of this, just moving with your breath. And warming up your spine a little bit more. Now come back to neutral and walk your hands forward for puppy pose, resting your forehead on the mat and feeling a nice big stretch in the back of your shoulders. If this feels too much, you can come into a child pose or even take your hands a little wider. Sometimes that can feel good. Begin to walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. And we're coming into a little deeper hip stretch now. So step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Now we're not opening the knee out this time for winged dragon. We're keeping the right knee hugging inwards towards the right arm. So it's a little bit more active than some of the other stretches we've taken in the past. You can bring your hands onto blocks to lift the ground up to you. You can also lower down onto your forearms, your elbows. Try not to let the knee move away from the right arm though if you're taking your arms lower. Bring your hands back to your block or the mats and straightening your right leg, flexing your toes, coming into a half split. Feeling a nice stretch in the back of the right hamstring. Rebend your right knee, keep your left hand grounded. Stretch your right arm out to the side for a closed twist. For a little more intensity, tuck the back toes and lift the knee off the ground. Lower your right hand down to the mat or your blocks. Step your left foot to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. And exhale, take a nice forward fold. Roll your spine all the way up to stand slowly. Bring your hands to your hips. Ground down into your left foot for tree pose. Externally rotate the right leg. You can bring the foot to the ankle for balance, the calf, or to the left thigh. Make sure you're not resting your foot on your knee. Bring your hands to prayer at your heart and focus your gaze on something that's not moving in front of you to help you keep your balance. Draw your right knee forward and step your right foot down to the mat. Bring your arms by your side. Take an inhale, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands to the mat or your blocks. Halfway lift, breathe in. Step your right foot back. Take a quarter turn to the long edge of your mat and come into a wide-legged forward fold. Place the right palm below your face. Take an inhaling breath and twist your left arm to the sky. Look up as long as it doesn't bother your neck. Then lower your left hand down. Take an inhaling breath to prepare. Exhale, right hand to your hip or stretch the arm to the sky for a deeper twist. Lower your right hand down to the mat. Bring your hands to your hips and slowly come up to stand. Toe heel your feet in a little bit. Have the heels in and the toes turning out for goddess pose. Bring your hands to your thighs and start to shift your weight a little bit from side to side. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, twist your left shoulder towards the right side, towards your right knee. Pressing the knees away from you, come back to center and then twist right to left. Come back to center, straighten your legs, parallel your feet. Inhale, lift your arms up and overhead. Exhale, lower your left hand to your left thigh and stretch your right arm over to the left side of the room for a side bend. Make sure you're not pressing into your left knee here. Come back up to center. Lower your right hand down and stretch your left arm up and over for the side bend. Come back to center. Begin to toe heel the feet together and step forward to the top of your mat. Inhaling breath, stretch the arms up and overhead. Exhale and forward fold, hands to mat or blocks. Halfway lift on the inhale. Step your right foot to the back of your mat as you exhale and set your knee down. Bring your hands to the inside of your left foot. Squeeze your left knee to your upper left arm. And again, you can stay on your hands here, or you may be able to lower down onto your forearms. Bring your hands back to the mat of your blocks and start to press your hips back. Straighten your left leg and flex your toes for a half split. Rebend your left knee. Close twist, right hand plants. The left arm stretches up to the sky. And again, you have the option to tuck the back toes underneath you and lift your knee away from the ground. Bring your left hand down to the mat and step your right foot forward and come into your forward fold. Slowly circle the arms up and come up to stand. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Tree pose, grounding down into your right foot, placing your left foot on the ankle, the calf, or the thigh. Bring your hands together at your heart center and focus your drishti. Bring your left knee back to center and set your left foot down. Bring your arms by your side. Turn to the long edge of your mat. Take your feet out nice and wide, parallel your feet. Stretch your arms out to either side of the room. Turn your right toes to the front of your mat and bend your knee deeply for a warrior two. Inhale, straighten your arms, lift them overhead, parallel your feet, and take your warrior two on the second side. 3 to 5 breaths here. Inhale, straighten the legs, lift the arms, bring your hands to your hips, and fold forward. Walk your hands to the top of your mat, bend your front knee, and step your feet back, lower your knees to the mat, and sit back into a child's pose. Thread the needle, bring the right arm behind your left arm, and lower your right ear to the mat, your right shoulder to the mat. You can also do this pose from a tabletop position, which might be a little bit less intense if you can't sit your hips all the way back to your heels in a child's pose. Let's change sides. Stretch the right arm out and thread the left arm behind the right arm, bringing your left ear to the mat and finding a nice stretch in the back of the shoulder. Unwind your arms and slowly come to a seat and recline all the way down onto your back. Pull your knees in tightly to your chest and give yourself a nice big hug. Coming into a spinal twist, stretch your arms out wide to either side of the room and let your knees drift over to the right side. Your gaze can stay up or go over your left shoulder. And then take your knees over to the left, gaze up or over your right shoulder. And slowly come back to center, and we'll settle in for our final Shavasana. You can extend the legs, maybe bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly, or even just have your arms by your side. So we've worked our physical body, and now we're here to relax. Hopefully we've ironed out some of the kinks and tension. In this part of our practice, our focus is on letting go of control. So if you think about how much we try to control in our life, it's natural to find it difficult to lessen that grip and to let go here. So we begin by focusing on the breath. And just let your breath be however it is, observing it, not trying to fix it or interfere or change in any way. So we're becoming mindful of the breath and letting go of our desire to control the breath and our experience here. Just allow your body to feel heavy and supported by the earth. With the eyes closed, try to stay present, but be at ease. And again, without trying to control, just begin to pay a little attention to your exhaling breaths. And notice if they're long, if they're short, if your breath is calm or if it has a little more of an anxious quality. Are you rushing your breath? Where do you feel the breath in your body? Again, without control, but just observing and paying attention. Now paying attention to the spaces between the breaths. So there's a pause between each breath. Notice if it's short, if you're rushing to get to your inhaling breath. Or maybe it almost seems like there's no pause whatsoever. Again, without trying to control, just pay attention to the spaces between the breath. And now noticing your inhales. Where do you feel the breath? Is the breath warm or cold? Are you focusing a little too much or straining a little too much on the breath? Or is it a little more relaxed? Again, just observing without feeling that you need to change anything. And now for these final few moments of our practice together, just observe the parts of your breath. The inhale, the space before the exhale, and the pause before your inhale again. And just keep a gentle, relaxed awareness on your breath for these final moments of your practice, staying here for 3 to 5 minutes. Namaste.